From one Brazilian who could well join Arsenal to another who may not, it appears. Vinicius Junior. This one's on the back of the Sun, no bin, no fee. All smiles as he returned to Real Madrid ahead of crunch talks over his future. So where are we at with this one, do you feel, Sam?
Well, it's an interesting one. Arsenal's position is that if Vinicius does not want to sign a new contract, and if Real Madrid are not willing to let him go into the final year of his deal, which does expire at the end of next season, then they would be willing to make an attempt to sign him. Now, that's obviously a lot of ifs, and there's a long way to go on this, but Arsenal's position is that they, across the board within the club, feel that they could do it in that scenario. That's obviously in itself very interesting, because this is a sort of deal that financially goes way beyond anything that Arsenal have done before in their past. And people might point at Declan Rice, for example, but I think the numbers that we would be talking about here for Vinicius Junior, certainly in terms of wages, are astronomical compared to Declan Rice. And according to the latest reports in Spain, Vinicius has effectively turned down a contract which would in England be worth around £550,000 a week. Arsenal's current highest earner is Bukayo Saka on close to £300,000 a week. So you're almost doubling the highest earner and completely shattering the wage structure. It's not the sort of deal that Arsenal have done in the past. It's not the sort of deal they have done under Mikel Arteta in this sort of revolutionary process that he's overseen over the past 6-7 years. But perhaps they feel they're now in a position as Premier League champions. Perhaps they feel they can get enough sales in, enough money generated through departures to really make this happen. But as I say, it's a big departure, and there are so many ifs and maybes behind this deal that I think it's so definitely too early to call.
OK. Martin, I just wonder, for context, when I think about, the Premier League as a whole and the players that have been signed over the season, the big transfers, but, actually signing this level of superstar by any club has been very, very difficult, hasn't it? Would you say that the Premier League more like makes superstars rather than sort of recruits them from abroad? What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's an argument for saying it does that, because I just think the way it is, most clubs have this sort of structure that they don't want to disrupt too much. So, as you say, if he's being paid $550,000, that would be, in certain terms of Arsenal, that would just put him out of a different stratosphere to all the other players, and there's a risk there, of what does that create problems in its own right. So, I think you're right there, David. It would be a departure to bring in somebody like that, especially at the height of his career as he is now. I think that will be something Arsenal will have to weigh up and calculate, the benefits against the negatives.
During our absence, a lot of discussion about Vinicius Junior and his future, as he's only got 1 year left in his contract, yet to sign a new deal. Vinicius is back until how long, though, is the front page of AS. Jules is with us. Jules, is this just your normal standoff and he looking for more money, or could Real Madrid really let him go?
I don't think they can afford to let him go, Dan. But this is normal procedure. He's got 1 year left on his contract. It's actually quite hard to understand and to comprehend how Real Madrid found themselves in this position with arguably the best player they've had in the last 5 years or so, one of the best in the world in this position, certainly, to have given him that power that now he can decide really what happens next, because with 1 year left on his contract at Real Madrid, he's got all the cards in his hands. And for a club like Real Madrid, not just Real Madrid, but we talked about other clubs who were in a similar position with some of their star players, even recently with Liverpool, for example, it's very hard to understand how you can let that happen. However, this is the situation. It's normal for Vini and his people, his agents, to talk to other clubs right now, or to see what others could offer, where he might end up if there's no extension to Real Madrid. It's normal for them to still talk to Real Madrid, because I really believe that he wants to stay and Real Madrid wants him to stay as well. And for Real Madrid right now, I really don't think you can afford to let him go. And if there's no agreement found on his extension, then very quickly you have to make a decision. If there's no extension and you believe that he can't live on a free in 12-month time, obviously, then you'll have to set a price and see what the offers are coming from other clubs in Europe.
To that point, sorry, just one second.
But financially, they will need all the numbers to add up really to attract him to the club.
So is he looking for, I don't know if you know this, Jules, is he looking for something at Real Madrid? Because you're right, he is holding all the cards in terms of, you know, ever since the Bosman ruling goes into the last year, then as long as you're a player that is something that almost everybody would take at a reasonable price, then you are the chief man in the poker game. But is he looking for something in terms of the money at Real Madrid that's parity with the likes of Kylian Mbappe, or is he looking to be, what are you laughing at?
Chief man in the poker game.
Well, he's a big chief in the poker game, isn't he? Is he looking for something that's parity with Mbappe, or is he looking to be basically the highest paid player at Real Madrid?
From his point of view, to kind of request that, when you see the numbers, and okay, we can look at 25-26 season individually, collectively, and say that Vini was not his best and the team was not his best. Sure, but he also won them Champions League before and titles. And usually in this position, you get a pay rise. You know, wherever you are in those big clubs, when you play like Vinicius at his age, because let's not forget, he's reaching now his peak years. It's not like if he was 30 already or about to get 30. This is a really good age for Real Madrid to extend him or for somebody else to go and sign him. So I think the money that he's asking is fair.
You're the big poker guy.
And
you're the big chief. When all the people go around your house, you know those boring people that go around your house for the cucumber sandwiches?
Yeah.
With a glass of water.
Yeah.
Kylian Mbappe might leave. Erling Haaland comes in. Different type of player, but scores goals. There's always somebody that could come in and replace you. I mean, one of the lads, you could probably take at least a couple of the lads from PSG that would come in and be an adequate replacement in the wide positions, be it Doué, Barcola, you know, Elise, Dembele, any of those boys, and there are other Kvaratskhelia. So no, he's not. And I think the big risk is if he goes somewhere else, which I don't think he will, as Jules mentioned, the amount of salary, the amount of pay you're going to have to pay him, and then we know if it's not going his way, he could be a problem.
It's the attitude.
It'd be great if he goes to Chelsea, wouldn't it?
Aye.
You are, Xavi.
I mean, it's just...
See what we got you?
Yeah, we got you a special present.
Apparently he loves your training.
Who would you think would be more upset?
Oh, well, Alonso would be out the door, wouldn't it? He would last 2 seconds.
I mean, listen, that's... In all honesty, we're pretty much talking about his attitude.
Yeah.
Because if it's Messi at that age, even the argument about, well, the whole dressing room going to want the same amount of money,
Training center to begin preseason training.
That doesn't apply.
The return to
really
training
with Messi,
marks the
because
beginning.
Everybody knows it's Messi, but if I'm a player in that Arsenal dressing room, for example, and I've got Vinny Junior coming in
Of another
and he's
important
gonna be
chapter
on
for Arsenal.
ridiculously stupid
Every new
money,
season
and I
starts
know
here,
he's
not under
gonna
the bright
run for
lights.
me, I'm going to have a problem with that. And surely, if I'm writing the cheque at Arsenal, I'm asking the
Of
manager
a packed
first
stadium,
and foremost,
but on the training pitches where
We've
fitness is
seen what
rebuilt,
this guy's done over the
tactics
last
are
couple of
refined.
years at Real Madrid, how he's kind of blown everything up in the dressing room, his behaviour on the field,
and the foundations for
has
success
been
are laid.
just atrocious, particularly
For
in the big
Arteta
game
and
with
his coaching-
Barcelona. But you're asking me to sign a cheque, and we don't know what we're going to get. I think
Staff,
it completely
every
changes
session
the
counts.
narrative, and it certainly
Players were
makes
put through a series
his
of
options
demanding
small.
fitness tests.
Arsenal have signed players before, after their huge success under Arsene Wenger. Not maybe to this standard, but they
And
signed players
high-intensity
once
drills
after the
designed to
2004-05
prepare them for the
season,
challenges
when they last
ahead.
won the title.
Sharp passing routine.
When they had the drought, they'd gone down a bunch of really talented players who didn't work particularly hard.
Pressing
Alexis
exercises,
Sanchez,
movement
Mesut
off the
Ozil,
ball,
the
and
list-
tactical
they signed
positioning
Pepe,
all featured.
thought he was going to be brilliant. A flash in the pan.
That was Jules' advice
They
when
went-
he said to sign.
They
Heavily,
did
as
have
the
a lot of
coaching
players
staff
who
wasted
you
no
would
time
consider
getting the squad
extremely
back into
talented,
rhythm.
but were liabilities when they didn't have the ball. And Mikel Arteta has gone the other way with this Arsenal
The
team.
atmosphere
Take them
around
to
the training
Champions
ground
League
has been
final,
positive
take them
from the
to
very
the
first.
summit in the Premier League again is good players who work, really good players who work really hard.
Day.
And that's
Those
been
who
the
have already
statement for them at
returned
Arsenal.
look
That's been
focused,
where they've had
energetic,
their
and
recent
determined to-
success. Not by thinking, right, you know what, we could just go out and get somebody who's extra special.
Impressed.
But it does upset
Every
the
player
apple cart,
understands
both in
that
terms of salary
preseason offers a
and
fresh
potentially in terms of not pulling your weight when you're in a big game. So for those reasons,
to earn a place in Arteta's plans before the competitive
a
fixtures
major
begin.
overhaul at Real Madrid over the summer. Of course, Jose Mourinho coming in. Diamande is
Several
reported
senior
to be
stars are
making
still
that
away
move from
following
Leipzig
their
to
involvement
Real
in the
Madrid. We
FIFA
heard
World
Leipzig
Cup
come out just
and
to
are
say
expected.
no, this isn't going to happen, but you feel that it will inevitably happen at some stage before the window closes.
To rejoin the squad after completing their scheduled holidays.
Fit into this Real Madrid
Their gradual
side?
return.
Well, I think he would be signed to play on that right-hand side. Obviously, if you think about Mbappe,
Will
central,
strengthen the squad
Vini
even
on the
further
left, if Vini
as
stays,
Arsenal continue
obviously, I
building
still
towards
think
the
that
new campaign.
Diamande's best position is probably more onto the left-hand side, where he played mostly with Ivory Coast
One
at the World
player who
Cup.
was notably
Although he
absent from
played a lot
training
on
is
the
William
right as well
Saliba.
for Leipzig, so I don't think really right or left matters to him. He's very able with his right foot and his left foot.
The French
Last
defender
season
is
was his
currently
first
recovering
one
from a back
really
injury.
for a
Suffered
good European club. Before that, there was Leganés, in La
during the
Liga in
World Cup
Spain.
and remains
But
under the
Leipzig, he
supervision
showed
of
all
Arsenal's
the
medical
potential
team.
and talent at only 19 years old of what he could do. Yet spending 130 million, which is what Real Madrid
While there is
are
no reason for
about
panic,
to spend
supporters
on
will
him,
naturally
is still
be
a bit of
hoping
a
to see
gamble
one of their
because the
most
talent is there. But then we've all seen very talented 19-year-old players who never really made that
important
step up.
defenders
So
return
this
to
is the
full
money that
fitness
PSG didn't want to
as
pay, for
quickly as
example.
possible.
They stopped at 100 million and they say, that's the valuation we have on him. If you're Leipzig, you're not happy with
Saliba
that.
has become a
then
key
sorry,
figure
we
in
can't go
Arsenal's
higher up.
defense over the
Real
past
Madrid
few
seems
seasons.
okay, and
His
I'm
composure
happy
on
to
the
go
ball,
for 130, which again I think is borderline silly money, really.
ability
for
to read
players
the game,
like
and
Diamande,
partnership
as
at the
talented
heart
as
of
he
the
is, a bit like
backline
what
have
Chelsea
played a
paid for Rodgers in a sense. But the talent is there, and if Mourinho can help
major role in the team's
developing a bit
success.
more that talent,
His recovery will be
nurturing all
carefully
that
managed
talent,
to ensure
he can go to the next level, and then I think he's got everything to be one of the best players.
Where's the common sense gone?
he is fully ready when the season
We've
begins.
sat here.
Away from the
over
injury concerns.
Definitely the last 12 months in particular going. They got a problem, Real Madrid. Mbappe wants
Arteta's
to play on
primary
the left,
focus
and Vinny
remains
wants to
building a
play on the
squad
left as
capable
well.
of competing at the highest
So guess what? Let's go and spend over 100 million on a guy
level.
who really wants to play on
Preseason
the
is
left
about
as
much
well.
more than
Play on the
improving
right.
fitness.
You can play on the right.
It is a
If you're spending
Did you hit the desk
if
for
you're
that point?
spending 120 million on a player,
Yes.
about
and
creating
you're not going to play
understanding
him in his
between
best
teammates,
position, really?
integrating new
Does that
arrivals.
make any sense to anybody?
I think the money in total
Come on.
just has gone. I mean, it's a different.
Seriously.
Rodgers is a very
Refining
good player,
tactical
really.
systems
Elliot Anderson's
and
a
ensuring
really good
every player is
but really-
physically
And now, as Jules was mentioned, the money that's been thrown about now,
Yeah.
these transfers is
and
not,
mentally prepared. Every sprint completed
it's
during
not
training,
really
every
realistic in terms of balancing it with the talent of these players. It's just
tactical
became
instruction from the coaching staff,
utterly
and every
stupid.
competitive
It's
drill
no
serves a
wonder some
purpose.
clubs that are obviously not as elite as Real Madrid and others at the top of the.
Madrid, Rodri.
These are the moments where
at the
winning
World Cup,
habits
but
are
that was over
formed
8
long
games.
before the first Premier
His
League.
season with Man City had more ups and downs, really. And if you're Real Madrid and some people
Whistle
at
is
the club
blown.
really believe
Competition
that
for
maybe
places is
a
expected to be
younger
fierce.
defensive midfielder that might be just not at the level of Rodri just now, but will be for the next
Young players
5
will be
to
eager
8
to catch the
years,
manager's eye.
makes more
Experienced
sense than
stars
going
will
for
be
Rodri
looking
now with a kind of longish contract at 30 with the uncertainty over the
to maintain
injuries,
their
not
positions.
just the big one that
And
he had
any new
previously,
signings
but
will
also
want
the
to
back
settle
one
into
that
the squad
that
as
he's back
quick.
now for. Makes more sense. But I still expect Rodri to probably make that move and then
quickly as possible.
City to replace him with Ayoub
Healthy
Wadi,
competition
the
often
wonder
brings
kid from
out the
Morocco.
very best in
You
players.
just know Mourinho doesn't want that second option, does he? He wants the first option, which is the guy that can do it from now.
And Arteta will welcome the
experienced guy,
intensity.
The player that they don't have.
Can he do it from
Arsenal's
now? Does he think he
preseason
does?
schedule will
Well, the one thing I would say, you could look at a lot of players at Real Madrid and say, well, he can
also
work that
include
hole,
a
he
number
can
of
work
friendly
that hole,
matches,
he could do
giving
that.
supporters their
Stevie
first
mentioned
glimpse
front
of how the
post, you
team-
shuffle them all around. They haven't got that player, be it Rodri or anybody else. They haven't had it since Kroos and Modric. They've
Shaping
got,
up.
they've got too many. They get
These fixtures provide valuable opportunities to build match fitness